Hello everybody and welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to take a look at one of my favorite games ever. That's right, I'm talking about Mary-Kate and Ashley Get a Clue for the Game Boy Color. If you love Phoenix Wright, then this game is going to knock your socks off. I mean, what could be better than...
Welcome back everyone. Sorry for that slight delay, but Ben wasn't feeling so well. He'll be back soon. In the meantime, you needn't worry because your trusty half-blind gamer is on the case. In this episode, I'm going to tell you all about the Atari Lynx, a device that was way ahead of its time, being the first color handheld system. But apart from that, it had other great features too, like the ability to link up with other systems, if you could find someone who actually owned one, that is. In theory, you could actually link up to 18 units together. It's also one of the very few systems that cared for the strange species that is the left-handed individual. Just flip the thing around, hit a switch and bam, the screen turns upside down with the action buttons on the left and the direction pad on the right. Neat little features like this really set it apart. Of course, for a portable system it was kinda big and it ate batteries like none other, but it was still a decent system and it had some fine games. Let me show you one of my favorite games for the Lynx, and it's called Todd's Adventures in Slime World. The name alone is corny enough to win a prize. There's little to no story really. Basically, Todd just lands or crash lands onto Slime World and then has the bright idea to jump into some hole that you get to guide him out of again. You do this in various modes. Each mode is basically a separate level to get through, which is no easy task. Since Slime World has a lot of, slime, and harmful slime at that. Luckily, our hero is equipped with his trusty super soaker thingy, so he can wash the planet clean of those nasties. The object of the game is simple: get to the exit and acquire as many points as possible along the way. The game feels a bit like a Metroid game as you are exploring a large map. There's even an auto map to help you keep your bearing. Unlike Metroid, there is little need to backtrack though, as everything is accessible from the start. There are a few helpful items and in most modes they are quite plentiful. You'll find stuff like a spread upgrade for your gun, mega bombs, jetpacks and a purifier that can turn slimy water into refreshing clear water. There are also some bonus point items in the form of slime gems. When hit with slime, Todd will gradually turn green and eventually explode. Now that's some nasty slime. You can wash it off though in pools of clear water. So this game didn't need a HUD for showing health. That kinda sounds like a feature from a more recent game. There are also some instant kill traps, like snapper guys that just jump out of the ground and kill you. Or when you get hit with red slime. Mega bombs are fatal too. They demolish everything when they go off and you'd best be in another room where that happens. Mixing jetpack component with water has pretty much the same effect. Well, except that you don't have to bother with running away when that happens. Luckily, there are a lot of checkpoints and you have infinite lives. Well, except for the sadistic arcade mode, which only gives you one life. Lose that and you have to start all over again. With instant kill hazards that are nearly impossible to detect, this clearly isn't the best of modes, since it requires knowledge of the level layout. The other modes fare much better. In easy you get a more laid back level which takes it easy on the player and litters the place with goodies. It's like a little practice level. In exploration the level is much bigger and has more enemies and less items. In action the focus is really on enemies and getting rid of them. In logic your gun doesn't work and you have to rely more on bombs and avoiding enemies altogether, making it more into a puzzle platformer. And finally in suspense you have to escape the planet within a time limit which you can extend by picking up some mushrooms. How the hell that works, I have no clue, although I believe some shrooms can have time distorting effects. The game controls are just fine. You usually get told to do what you want him to do. It can be a bit tedious to get to a particular item you need if you have a bunch, since you can only go to the next item and not go back. So if you shoot past an item you need, you'll have to go through the whole list again. I've had a couple of times where I died from just taking too long to find the slime shield, which also heals you up. Oh, and you will die a lot in this game. Where the easy level is quite friendly, the other modes can be downright brutal. There are some really nasty traps and dead ends, some of which are inescapable. It's a really good thing that you have infinite lives, so you can make good use of that pop command to commit suicide. Dying does cost a few points, but who really cares about those anymore? You will also learn to dread the red slime. Most enemies erupt into slime drops. Red enemies, however, will burst out into red drops, and so do the red slime crystals if you shoot at them. The stuff instantly kills you. Some regular slime monsters can really mess you up too though. Some are just overdoing that whole slime spewing thing. I mean, look at that. How the hell can you dodge all of that? The graphics and animations look pretty good for a Lynx game. The sprites look nice and big and the backgrounds look great too. The different modes use different color schemes and backgrounds for the levels. For example, on easy there's this neat oozing effect where you see slime dripping along the walls. Because of the big sprites, the viewing distance isn't too great though, and the camera can be moved up and down a bit with the D-pad. This ends up being kind of annoying often, since you automatically use those directions for maneuvering already. The sound isn't as impressive. The Lynx was never known for its great sound capabilities, and this game doesn't try to push it either. All of the sounds are very basic and pretty boring, plus the music isn't too great either. It's mostly weird bleep and blob sounds that can hardly be even defined as music. At least it's not annoying and can be turned off if you like at any point. It does somehow fit this game though in a weird way. Something else worth mentioning is the ability to play cooperatively. Yeah, that's right, you can play this game in co-op if you link 2 Lynxes up with the game. Actually, up to 8 players can play. When in co-op, players can wash each other clean of slime with their water guns. Now, a game mode where players only have 1 life seems a lot more fun all of a sudden. Although, you'd have to draw straws to see who'll be the instant death explorer. There's also a deathmatch game that's especially meant for multiplayer. Unfortunately, I couldn't test these since finding people with the game is pretty much impossible these days. If you have a Lynx laying around, give this game a shot. It seems that it was also released on the Genesis, but I've never tried that version, so I'm not sure how well that holds up. So Ben, what do you think?
It's pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's no Mary-Kate and Ashley, but whatever.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this special episode of Video Game Takeout. And if you want to see and hear more from me, then check out my show on YouTube under the name Half-Blind Gamer, where I let you know all about lesser known games for CDI and stuff. Until next time, this is Sebastian saying thanks for watching and have a great week.